Hello everybody. Today we are looking at a very important topic. It's a common mistake and wrong understanding of common and the current common node, which is available and extensible on all the business objects that are projections from the business partner, and the most used ones here is the customer or the employee. Let's look at the business object. I have extended the customer in this case, and the only PSM released node is the common node, and I have added 2 extension fields to this common node. This is correct and works as designed. Now it's pretty often the case that it is required to have an embedded component attached as a tab or facet to the customer object, and I played around a little bit. Let's go back. And as you can see here, I have created an embedded component and attached it to the business partner customer. And now I want to bring a few fields on this embedded component. Let's look at the common node. At the common node, I have my extension fields, and I can add them to the screen. And I will also add a standard field, for example, person family name to the screen. I don't know why UI Designer is not complaining, but this is wrong. If you look at the cardinality of the common node, you can see it's 1 to n. So what do you expect to be displayed here? We cannot display n values in those fields. So what do you expect? Let me explain why we have n values here. For example, we have one guy that knows that he will marry next year in June and that he will change his surname to the name of his wife, for example. And then he tells the company, I'm changing my name. Please record that. And the company has the possibility to change the name with an effective date of June next year. In this case, we have 2 entries in the common node. One, which is the current one, and one, which is the changed one. What do you want? What do you expect to be displayed here? The current one or the changed one? And what do you expect to be displayed here next year? Okay, this is wrong. This is not working. It will display something, but it is not the right data. Okay, back to the design time. We add our extension fields to the common node because we want the extension fields to be time independent. Of course, if I have an extension field which is called my second surname, for example, this is required in some country, also this would be time dependent. That means I add it here in a time independent manner because I want it to be available everywhere, but I want to change it with an effective date. Back on the UI Designer, we can also see that we have a current common node. And you might already have an idea what this is about. So the current common node is pointing to the line in the common node, which is the current one. So there is only one line which is currently active, and there can only be one. And if I add the person name, the family name, for example, out of the current common node, as well as my extension field, then I can be sure that this is the correct one, because now the guy's name changes with an effective date of June next year in this field. And that's the reason why when you define a field, we define it in common because it's time independent. But once we use a field, we use current common to get the right instance. This is very important. This also is reflected in Apsl scripts. So if we go to my after modify Apsl, you can see here this common get first, because common can have multiple values. My X field ABC, don't do that. You have no control over what you see here. It is not always the first one who is correct. It will work at development times, but it will screw up the solution over time when changes are made in the system. The correct one, use the CurrentCommon Node. You have all your information available there, but you can be sure that this is the correct data. This is a very important thing to know. Please take care of it. I hope you learned something in this lesson. Thanks. See you next time. Bye bye.